And the first rotation, as we take a look at the meet format, basically what we call a double dual quad meet. Vault and beam alternate, bars and floor will alternate. No more than 2 events will be going on simultaneously. Different from the regular season where you normally have 2 judges per event. There are 4 judges here. And the host team, Alabama, was amazing. 2 days ago, in round 2, they are here at home on their home equipment, their home floor with a home crowd. It certainly gives them a bit of an advantage today if they hope to advance through to the Fort Worth National Championship. Jordan Paradise. And on bars for Florida, it's Anya Pilgrim.
That was a huge Yurchenko 1.5 on the left side of your screen to start off Bama. And Anya Pilgrim is over there flying high for the Gators on bars. Little twisting double back. Just a small hop on the landing. Great lead-off bar team for the Florida Gators.
The Gators have been remarkable in the postseason, particularly on the uneven bars. Very deep team. Sophia Esposito will lead off Oregon State on the beam. This is a crucial event for them if they hope to advance as well. They're currently a 14 seed. Kyan Mayhew for Cal on floor will lead off their competition.
Double full, stuck. What a great leadoff routine for Oregon State on beam.
You'll notice the scoring tower on the right side of your screen. Those are the respective lineups for each of the teams. As you see, Alabama's on vault in this first rotation. Florida on bars, Oregon State on beam, California Golden Bears on floor. Those are those 6 athletes. They'll count just the best 5 out of those 6 scores towards their team total in this team competition. As Karis German gets ready to go for Alabama, coming after Jordan Paradise, vaulted a big 9.85 to get the Crimson Tide off to a good start.
Alabama's looking solid on vault so far. Nice height. Good distance, just was going for that stick. Small hop backwards, not too bad.
Sky Blakely, the freshman out of Frisco, Texas, now for Florida. Anya Pilgrim led off the Gators with a 9.85.
Very nice release, right down to a hacksaw toe for Sky. He is an exceptional bar swimmer. Watch this dismount. Front half out. Gets the stick.
Wow.
Oh, that was so good.
The freshman out of Frisco, Texas, had a torn Achilles last year during the Olympic trials process. And here, less than a year later, she's competing for the Gators, trying to earn them that coveted spot into the NCAA tournament championship, which will be 2 weeks from now. Here's Mia Heather on beam for Oregon State. All 4 teams have led off today with a 9.85. That's how close this competition is going to be, start to finish. TJ Kinnicky on floor for Cal.
Running punch, double full, punch front. She was off on that takeoff for that punch run. She was able to stay on her feet.
points for Oregon State on beam. There's Tanya Chaplin. 28 years she's been running that program out there along with her husband, Michael. Didn't make it to the tournament last year, hoping to get back. They need to do well on beam because it was on beam last year where they faltered at the regionals and did not advance. Jamison Sears next to go on vault for Alabama. Harris German had a 9.8 after Paradise led them off with a 9.85.
Another big Yurchenko. This time with pool, a little bit out of control on that landing. Now remember, Yurchenko pool starts from a 9.95, so it's more important to get that landing at the end. It was huge. He flared it out, but still just had a little bit too much power.
Sky Blakely in the second spot for Florida, 9.925. Remember, it was at the SEC Championships just a couple of weeks ago that Florida set a new SEC Championship record on bars.
Just the hop on the dismount.
Here's Lauren Letch getting set to go now for Oregon State on beam. What an incredible story about this young lady. She was born with a hole in her heart, had surgery to correct it. And for most of her life, she's been dealing with a condition called POTS syndrome, which is essentially a syndrome which causes your heart to race whenever you're in a standing position. So you can imagine how much all of these athletes' hearts are racing as they get set for the beam. But here it is. She's competing to hope to get her team through to the championship. Lauren Letch. After Mia Heather had a 9.7. Maddie Williams on floor for Cal. TJ Kunicky only a 9.65. Not what we're used to seeing from Cal.
First pass on the right ear screen. Very nice. Front layout to 1.5 twist. Nice control on the landing as well. A little overturned, I think. Almost a 2.5 turn there.
A hit routine from Lauren Letch for Oregon State, the senior out of Golden, Colorado. Important moment for them because yesterday she had a miss, only scored 9.075. So Oregon State has 3 hits in a row on beam. Jamison Sears' score came in for Alabama on the vault. It was a 9.75. You'll notice that score is grayed out on your screen. That's the low score. They hope to drop the low score. The 6 athletes compete. You count just the best 5 scores. Here's Corinne Banagin. Alabama typically have big vaults.
Did this wonderfully the other night. Oh! And she did it again! That was amazing.
Banagin, the senior from Ramsey, New Jersey. Wow. And back to the bars now for Florida. Selena Harris Miranda coming up after Leanne Wong had a 9.875. Rare that Leanne Wong is ever below 9.9, but she did shuffle a bit on the landing.
Looks great here. Very nice.
As we said at the top of the show, this is going to be wall-to-wall great gymnastics. Oregon State here on beam. They've had a 9.85 and 2 9.7s. Lauren Letch got a 9.7 for her effort there. So this is often the clutch event. Any team who can get through beam comfortably with no mistakes or no counting low scores could advance. All 4 of these teams are quite evenly matched. On floor now, Ella Cesario after Maddie Williams had a 9.875.
I think that was a little low for Maddie on floor. That was a really nice floor routine. See what Ella can do here. Big tucked pull in. The dismount left. Small hop, inner pull.
This weekend starts with 36 teams, and by the end of today, it'll be down to just 8 teams that will go to the NCAA championship in Fort Worth 2 weeks from now. So 2 from this competition today, plus 2 from the final regional of this weekend, which are out at Washington later today after we're off the air.
Round off 1.5, front layout. Nice control on the landing there.
Liz Crandall-Howe, one of the co-head coaches there. And a nice job with the Cal Bears. Took them all the way to runner-up position last year at the NCAA championships. Here's Gabby Gladio, one of their best all-arounders.
Chenko, 1.5. A little bit too much there. That was a pretty large step on the landing.
They had posted a 9.9 for Corinne Banagin from Alabama on the vault. That has been upgraded to a 9.95, and that's essentially perfection. No, that's not right. She does a 1.5. That's a career high for her. Alyssa Arana for Florida now after Selena Harris Miranda had a 9.9.
This is a great bar routine so far. She just has this dismount left. Nice hit cast handstand there. Double layout. Gets the stick. Very nice.
Now competing on beam after Jen McMillan got a 9.8. Here's Sydney Gonzalez. The key on beam is just to get 5 solid hit routines. MJ Frazier will be on the floor at the same time from Cal after Ella Cesario had a 9.85.
Huge yesterday. Double layout. Very nice. Close out her beam routine. Small hop on that gator front pull.
Oregon State does what they need to do. They don't have huge scores over there, but they do have 5 hit beam routines. Jade Carey, the Olympic gold medalist, will be their anchor competitor.
Second pass was great the other day. Let's see what she does tonight. Front through to double tuck. short that time. Still a great routine for Cal.
And over on vault for Alabama, it'll be Lily Hudson after Gabby Gladio got only 9.775. They need a big score now. Nice.
That was very clean. Yurchenko 1.5. Just a small hop on the landing.
Well, the technique and the mechanics in the form are just exceptional, aren't they?
Yes, her toes are glued together. Her legs are straight. Not too many deductions in the air, so that'll be good for Alabama.
Well, they have a 9.75 from Jamison Sears, the score they'd like to drop. Certainly, Lily Hudson will score more than that. Here's Riley McCusker, co-SEC champion on the bars, scored a perfect 10, the first one of her career.
Van Leeuwen, very nicely done. There's a double tuck here. The slide on the landing. Very clean bar routine.
And Alyssa Arana before her had a 9.925. So Florida already with a 49.475 will come away with a strong starting rotation on bars. Here's Jade Carey. 9.65 was the score for Sydney Gonzalez. That's the lowest score, assuming Carey does better. I believe she's #1 in the country on this event, as well as the all-around. So if there's ever a sure bet in gymnastics, I think it would be with Jade Carey. Maya Lazan starts her routine on floor, coming after MJ Frazier got a 90. Floors have seemed a little bit tight on floor. Expected to see a couple 9.9s for Cal Bears.
Jade looks super solid on beam. Just the dismount. Very nice.
2 days ago, Jade Carey in the all-around. 9.95 across the board. Once again, delivers just a rock-solid routine. Carey had 3 9.95s going into the final rotation, ended up with a 10 on floor. Score a huge 39.85 in the all-around. Florida will have the lead at the end of this rotation. The 49.55, a 9.825 or better for Maya Lazan. Will put Cal in second place.
And I think she
The goal
just got
today
it.
is the top 2.
Very nice routine from Maya Lazan. Front handspring, front double full, punch front. Very nice control, so clean in the air. 1.5, front full. Again, great form in the air. That should be a big score for Cal.
So you look at the scores on floor for Cal over there. No scores of 9.9 or better, which is pretty atypical for Cal. They are spectacular on the vent. They will end up in third, so it is Florida with a huge 49.55 on bars, and Alabama. Here's our score after 1 rotation. We get set to go in the second of 4 rotations. Florida, as predicted, outstanding on the bars. They hold the lead of just a little less than 0.2 of a point over the California Bears. That last score came in at 49.375. Cal has a special way of prepping for this competition. Kyan Mayhew, one of their teammates, has a knack for specialty braiding in the hair, and that right there is NCAA in the back of her teammate's hair. It takes an hour and a half to prepare her hair and get it braided with a special signal for each of her team meets. They'll start on bars. Trinity, could you have sit there for an hour and a half, get your hair done before the meet?
I definitely have before, but it is not my most favorite thing.
Gabby Gladio now on the bars for Alabama.
Huge Jaeger, right down to the low bar.
Maybe the trick today is to advance into the top 2. So Alabama 2/10 of a point behind Cal. They're going to hope to catch them. Florida comfortably in the lead right now.
That was a very nice lead-off routine.
And a critical event for the Cal Bears. Not their strongest vault. They're going to need to stick them here. Here's Maya Wiley.
Wow.
Oh!
You just said stick it, and she stuck it.
Whoa.
That was a very nice Yurchenko 1.5.
In terms of national rankings, it's not one of their highest events. In fact, it's their lowest event. They're just 9th in the country on that event. So putting it together when they need to peak here late in the season. Savannah Miller now, first up for Oregon State on the floor.
Big double pike, opening pass. A nice controlled lunge on the landing.
Tyler Drazer now for the Gators on beam.
Back handspring, layout step out. No problems for Skylar on the left.
On the right, Savannah Miller. I mentioned she's a junior from Waterford, Michigan. Both of her parents, by the way, competed for Michigan State Gymnastics, the team that you highlighted as one of your favorites this year.
Wow, that's so cool.
This is what we call a double dual quad meet, meaning that there will be 2 teams competing at the same time. Florida's on the beam, Oregon State on the floor. This rotation.
Double tuck on floor to end her floor routine. That was a solid routine for Oregon State.
Ryan Mayhew, the hair specialist for the Cal Bears. Maya Wiley, well rewarded for her clean execution. 9.85 to lead off the Bears on vault.
Another Yurchenko 1.5. That one was off to the left side. She did take a step to the edge of the mat, so that will be an additional deduction.
Gabby Gladio led off Alabama on the bars with a strong 9.85. Here's Lily Hudson. This 1-2 punch of these 2 all-arounders is just about as good as it gets.
That was a nice bar routine.
Alabama feeling comfortable. Remember, this is their home court. So they're home on even bars, and probably gives them a little bit of an advantage because they're hosting the regionals. They got the energy of the crowd behind them. Team that's leading right now, of course, the Florida Gators. Anya Pilgrim had just an unbelievable freshman year. Now she's just a sophomore, and this is one of the deepest teams that Jenny Rowland in her 10 years has ever had with Florida. They have a lot of talent, a lot of superstars, and several who are on the sidelines injured and not yet competing. So Florida will have its best chance in a long time to win another national title. There's Olivia Buckner on floor for Oregon State.
That's a 1.5, front 1.5 from Olivia there. And a handspring layout over on beam from Anya. Front aerial, slightly off center, but she was able to bring it back. This is going to be a close meet, so all of these steps on the landings, the wobbles, it does end up making a big difference in the end.
Talking to head Coach Jenny Rowland from the Florida Gators earlier. I said, what's the goal today? And she said, rinse and repeat. Yesterday, they scored a 198.225, the highest score of any team in the NCAA regional tournament. There's Jenny Rowland. So they're just hoping to repeat that today. They averaged over 9.9 in round 2. That's a championship level type team. Casey Brown will be the next vaulter. Kyan Mayhew had a 9.8.
Tuscaloosa 1.5 comes up with a stuck landing.
Good for her. You know, yesterday she only went 9.775. Today she drilled that landing. Maybe a little out of line, but pretty good.
Yes, she did twist a little bit early on the table. Off to that right side in the landing.
Peyton Walker now for the Crimson Tide on bars after their second straight. 9.85, that one for Lily Hudson.
And did you see the height on that pack salto to the low bar? And then she went back up to the high bar with a Maloney, straight to a ginger, ending with a full twisting double tuck. She makes that very difficult routine look so easy.
She had a 9.85 yesterday. Alabama comfortable here at home. Here's Victoria Wynn on the beam now for Florida. Anya Pilgrim had a 9.825.
Take a look at this series on beam. A nodie, straight to back handspring step out. Very difficult. That's a back handspring with a half twist right into another back handspring.
Via Esposito on floor for Oregon State.
Wow, front through, double pike. Nice control on that landing.
Interesting story about Victoria Wynn's family. Her brother competes for the University of Illinois, and they had their Big Ten championships this weekend, so her family drove from Houston all the way up to Ann Arbor to watch her younger brother compete. Then over here to Tuscaloosa to watch Victoria compete. And then they'll drive home after this meet's over, a total of 2,673 miles this weekend to see their two D1 athletes compete. That's a family commitment, Trinity.
Yes, it is. Her family is the greatest.
Esposito doing well on floor. Buckner before her had their high score 9.85.
Nice front layup, front 1.5.
Maya Lazan coming after Casey Brown. Scored 1/10 higher than yesterday. She had a 9.875 this year for sticking that landing. Cal stuck 2 of the 3 vaults so far. Landings are going to be key.
Yurchenko 1.5. Again, that round off was a little bit around the side, so she was on the edge of that mat on the landing, but see how she's over to the side of the horse, keeps traveling, but she was able to keep her composure and finish a nice ball.
Chloe LaCourcier now on bars after Peyton Walker got a spectacular 9.9. Alabama looking very calm here today.
Twisting double back, another stuck landing. They're very clean bars, each two. Take a look at this dismount here. Full twisting double back. Look at how her knees are glued together, feet are glued together throughout the entire dismount.
Leanne Wong on beam now for Florida after Victoria Wynn got a 9.875. Paige Thompson will start on the floor for Oregon State. Esposito before her a 9.9.
A layout for Sage and a handspring layout step out for Leanne on the left. Switch ring for Leanne. Wasn't sure if she broke that first connection, so she did throw the switch ring in there. Make sure she starts from a 10-0. Big wrist, that's not easy skill. Gator Pool did hop on the landing.
I have to say, Florida doesn't look quite as calm and cool as they did in the second round Friday. I don't know if it's nerves or fatigue, but they don't seem quite as polished as they were a couple of days ago.
I would have to agree with that, Bart. Hopefully they can figure it out and settle in.
And another hit for Oregon State. Here's Maddie Williams now for California after Maya Lazan scored a 9-8 for going out of line on that ball.
Pool dropped it right in. That was gorgeous.
Her gymnastics is sublime. It's amazing. Technique, form, execution.
Watch her in the air. Beautiful. No leg separation whatsoever.
That's how you land a ball. Ryan Fuller will be on bars now for Alabama. Chloe LaCourcier had a huge 9.95. But right now, one of the low scores for Alabama on bars when they would drop would be a 9.85. They're killing it here.
Up to the high bar. Let's see if they can get another stuck dismount. Not quite. Just a little low on the landing there.
Alabama, six-time NCAA champions. This year they took 5th in the SEC championships behind LSU, Oklahoma, Florida, and Missouri. Hoping to get back to the national tournament for another shot at a national title. Competition gets tougher and tougher every year. So much parity in women's college gymnastics. Here's Selena Harris Miranda after Leanne Wong at a 9.825.
Take a look at this triple series. Back handspring, layout, step out, back handspring. That is very difficult. You're going straight from a layout step out into another back handspring.
Over on the floor, it's Caitlin Garcia after Oregon State got their second straight 9-9.
One and a half front pull for Caitlin on the right of your screen. For this dismount here. Round off, 1.5 twist. Stuck. She sticks that dismount almost every single time.
Last year she was Pac-12 Freshman of the Year and then transferred to Florida. This year she's the SEC Newcomer of the Year, continuing to deliver on both coasts. This is a great rotation. Every score so far has been 9-8 or higher. That's the quality of competition we're seeing. Maddie Williams got a 9.9 on vault for Cal. That's their best score so far. And here's MJ Frazier. This is the toughest vault that anybody does in college competition. You're going to see it right now. Double twisting Yurchenko.
Oh, that was much better than day 2, so I think she's going to be very happy with that one.
California already with a 49.225, a great score, and it's going to get better. That's the event they really needed to hit clutch vaults, and they did. Shania Adams now on bars. Ryan Fuller had a 9.8. That's the low score for the Crimson Tide over there.
like if Shania can hit this dismount, he may be able to drop that score for,
For sure.
They're gonna drop that 9-8.
Oh, and she had a fall yesterday on beam. But boy, did she come back strong here on bars. Look at this execution.
Oh, that was phenomenal.
Crimson Tide feeling good here at home. Here's Alyssa Arana on beam. Ryan Fuller had a 9-8. Excuse me, Selena Harris Miranda, 9-9. The only 9-9. Keep in mind, yesterday, Florida was averaging over 9-9 throughout the entire meet. They only have one 9-9 today on beam, and that's from Selena Harris Miranda.
Back handspring, layout step out.
Olympic gold medalist in the Tokyo Games on floor, Jade Carey. There's a total of 3 Olympic medals in her career. 2021, 2024.
He's going to open up with a huge double twisting, double back. Absolutely insane. That's 2 flips, 2 twists.
How do you explain her machine-like consistency? She just keeps producing for the U.S. national team, for Oregon State.
I don't think it can be explained. I think that she is just unreal.
Superhuman.
One of a kind. Yes, she is awesome.
He never seems fazed by fatigue, injury, travel schedules, anything. Competed all over the world for the U.S. national team, and she's really been the game changer for Oregon State gymnastics during her career. 24-year-old who's done it all. And now #1 in the country in the all-around.
Big double tuck. A little bit too much power. 3 passes is not hard enough, I guess. Let's take another look at this first pass. A double twisting double back. Bart, how hard is that?
Like way hard.
Like too hard?
Yes. And she does everything effortlessly. That is just, she is superhuman and almost machine-like in her consistency. All right, we got a great meet here today. Looks like Florida will have the lead, but all these teams are separated by 35/100ths of a point. Florida on top, Cal in second. Look at Alabama, just 25/1000ths of a point behind California. And Alabama will have to go to the beam in the next rotation. Here is Oregon State's team huddle. Tanya Chaplin giving them some notes. They were great on floor. We don't have Jade Scory yet, but the high have 2 9-9s. It comes in as a 9.95 for the national leader. And as expected, we got a great competition here. When we come back, we'll preview later tonight coming up on ESPN+. It'll be the Washington Regional. And we'll update you on who you're going to be able to see tonight if you tune in later on. All right, third rotation coming up here in Alabama. Here is the story. Look how close this is. Florida has the lead by less than 2/10 over Cal, but 25/1000ths of a point behind California are the Alabama Crimson Tide at home. Now they have to go to beam in this rotation, and Oregon State is certainly not out of this. They're just 2/10 out of a shot at the championships.
The Florida Gators opened well on bars. Sky Blakely was absolutely incredible. Take a look at this dismount. Wow. Simply amazing. And then Alyssa, another stuck dismount, this time a double layout. And then Riley McCusker stalled her to double tuck to close out that bar rotation. Very good start. Alabama's great vault rotation. Corinne sticks a 1.5. Absolutely amazing. She did it 2 times in a row. And then along so beautifully. Her bars are absolutely stunning. Alabama got a 9.95 with her on bars. And then Maya Lazan from Cal, she is just amazing. Front double full, front tuck. She makes it look easy. 1.5, front full. Cal's so happy with that rotation on floor.
We're at the halfway point, getting ready to start the third rotation here in Alabama. That puts Oregon State on vault. That's Natalie Briones who will lead them off. California will be on the bars, Alabama on beam, and Florida goes to the floor.
Nice, Yurchenko full on vault, just a little under-rotated, had to take the slightest shuffle forwards.
There's Maya Lazan, just finished her floor routine, and now she's already up on bars.
Look how clean her pack salto is, the low bar. Going right up back to the high bar with a Van Leeuwen. Oh! She was a little short of the high bar, kicked her toes on the bar, keeps it going.
Wow.
Wow. Full twisting double back, acts like she didn't have any problems in that bar routine. That's a veteran right there.
That has to sting when you hit the top of your feet on that low bar.
It absolutely does. She just released a little bit early, didn't quite finish her throw, but she did clip those toes.
It's a long season for these athletes. They've been competing every week. Now it gets down to the postseason. And a lot of fatigue entering into the equation, especially for those athletes like Maya Lazan, who's competed all around every week of the season. Here's Chloe Lacourcier on beam. Critical event for the Crimson Tide. And Victoria Wynn now on floor.
Victoria's dance is just breathtaking. She's beautiful on this event. Low with the front aerial, back handspring step out. Victoria does her front double full to Sassone. Up for this dismount here on the left side of your screen. Round off 1.5, sticks the landing, and kisses up to the sky. Very nice routine for Chloe. Victoria, last pass, 1.5, front layout. Very nicely done. Just again shows us why she is the leadoff for the Florida Gators on floor.
Here's Olivia Buckner now, Oregon State. 9.775 was the score for Natalie Briones.
Another Yurchenko full, gets the stuck landing. Very nice.
Coming up at 8 Eastern, you can catch the Seattle Regional Final from Seattle, Washington, here on ESPN+. And for more information, visit NCAA.com, home for all 91 NCAA championships. Interesting moment here for Cal, because Maya Lazan, who rarely scores below a 9.8 or 9.9, had only a 9.65 after she clipped her toes on the low bar on that transition element. So extra pressure on the Cal Bears here. Annalise Newman-Aichi, second up.
Annalise is another beautiful bar swinger. Maloney right down to the pack salto to the low bar, looking for all those feet together in every transition, and she's done a great job so far. Full twisting double back. This is a slight step backwards. Solid bar routine to get Cal right back on track.
Speaking of on track, Alabama, Chloe Lacourcier led them off with a strong 9.825. Here's Rachel Rybicki. 4 events for the Crimson Tide. This is the one where they're lowest ranked nationally, tied for 23rd compared to the other teams in the country. They haven't had as much consistency here as their other events. Gabby Disador on the floor for the Gators. Victoria Wynn led the Gators off with a super high.
A little bit too much power there for Gabby on floor, but she was able to get it under control. The dismount left for Rachel. Front full. Stuck.
Alabama feeling good here in front of the home crowd. No question about it.
Yes, they
Bowman
are.
Coliseum, a legendary building for quality women's gymnastics over all these years. Crimson Tide 6 times. They've won the national title, the last back in 2012.
1.5 front layout. A little bit too much power. That step was a little quick, so that will be a deduction. Nice routine for Gabby.
Victoria Wynn led forward off with a 9-9, so they're on to a good start there. Here's Jennifer McMillan now, after Buckner got their high score, 9.825.
Another Yurchenko full. A little bit too much power there. That did have some good distance on it.
Oregon State, that was their lowest scoring event in round 2 here, so they're going to need to stick some of those landings to hold off the other top teams here. Ella Cesario now for Cal on bars. Newman H.E. had a 9.85.
A nice straddle Jaeger right down to the low bar. Just a little short on these casts. Double layout. Gets the stick. Very nice. You can see a little bit of feet apart from this angle. That's a lot harder to see from the side.
He's known as one of the energy generators for the Cal Bears. She brings a lot of enthusiasm to the team, keeps them pumped up during this competition. Gabby Ladani will go after Rachel Rybicki, had a 9.8. So Alabama doing what they need to do, 9.8 or better on beam for their first 2 performers. There's Danny Ferris on floor. Gabby Disador for Florida had a 9.85 for her.
Danny has some big tumbling. Cool twisting, double back. Huge. Gabby with the handspring, layout step out. Nice and solid.
I think we talked a little bit about this yesterday, but what kind of advantage is it for Alabama to be at home with their apparatus in their gym, sleeping in your own beds? How does that factor into this regional competition?
Yes. Well, they're used to this equipment, where everybody else has maybe been on this equipment once or twice this year, if they were lucky. And they've got their home crowd in the stands cheering for them, so that definitely is nice to be where you are comfortable, and the other teams, have to get used to it a little bit more.
Alabama certainly looks comfortable here at home today, for sure. Jennifer McMillan had a 9.75 for Oregon State. Caitlin Garcia now. This is a clutch event for the Beavers.
1.5. Clean in the air. Quite a bit of a step forward, so that'll be at least a 10.
They had 4 scores in the 9-7 range yesterday, only a 48-9-7-5 were their averages over there. MJ Frazier now for Cal. Cesario had a second straight 9-8-5 for the Bears.
Maloney tacks also down to the low bar. Pirouette right back up on the high bar. Double layout. Just fought for that landing, just a little bit slide with the foot. Another solid bar routine. Take another look at this dismount. She is letting go just a little early, but she was able to control that landing.
Here's Lily Hudson after Gabby Ladani had a 9-9. Alabama comfortable on their own beam.
Alabama has
Leanne
a really
Wong.
good beam. Speaking from personal experience.
It's one of your favorites, actually?
Yes.
Even all the equipment is, of course, you know, standardized. There's no doubt about it that sometimes you just have your favorite ones. It just feels right, right?
Yes, absolutely. That's a switch leap on the left of your screen from Lily. Leanne's gearing up for a double layout. Very nicely done. Beautiful side aerial, the beat jump from Lily on the left of your screen. Just the dismount left for Lily. Round off, 1.5. Fights
Wow.
for that landing. That was
4
great.
hits for the Crimson Tide. There's Ashley Johnston, the former Alabama great, now in charge of their program for the last 4 years, doing a great job. She's pumped up.
Rightfully so. Leanne also just finished a very strong routine for the Gators.
I mentioned earlier about the sort of indestructibility of Jade Carey. I feel the same way about Leanne Wong. I don't know how she does it. She competes for the U.S. team, for her college team. Here's Sage Thompson.
Another Yurchenko full. I love the fights on these landings, especially for those Yurchenko fulls, because again, that's a 9.95 start value. Very important to get those landings.
Back to Cal on bars. Here's Maddie Williams, 9.85, the third one in a row. That last one for MJ Frazier.
Very nice floaty pack salto down to the low bar. Gonna Van Leeuwen up to the high bar. Hits that cast handstand right where the judges like it. Double layout. Did you see the lift?
Wow.
Did you see the height on that double layout? Nice and floaty.
And I did not
drops
see
it right in.
no deductions anywhere in my book.
Watch this double layout. Wow. That was great. Oh my goodness.
Very
that was
few
great.
athletes can keep their feet together throughout that double layout. That is remarkable. Rarely from the end zone camera do you get that look. But hers were glued together. Here's Gabby Gladio. Talk about doing well. Lily Hudson got the second straight 9-9 for Alabama on the beam, so they are crushing it here at home. Selena Harris Miranda for the Gators on Florida.
Selena on your right, front through to double top. And Gabby on your left is getting ready to dismount. Round off, double full, gets the stuck landing.
A huge
Very nice.
rotation for the Crimson Tide. 5 really spectacular routines. Beam is often the make or break it event, and the Crimson Tide have passed the test today. Triple Olympic medalist Jade Carey now on the vault, one of her best events.
We've already seen her stick this vault this week. 1.5. Oh, not tonight, just a small step.
We had a 9.95 on that vault yesterday or 2 days ago in round 2 here.
Let's look at the height on this vault. Wow, legs glued together until she gets ready for the landing. Very nice.
Casey Brown on bars now after Maddie Williams had a 9.95. One of the 4 judges flashed a 10. Remember, they want to replace the Nia Lazan's 9.65. They really need a hit routine, and they got it.
Yes, they did, Bart.
Oh, my.
How many stuck landings was that for Cal?
You know, all of these teams really look in postseason form, sticking these landings cold.
Wolf turn a little out of control, but she's a veteran and was able to get it right back on track.
Take a look at down on the right. Alabama with that 148.025. They've already exceeded their scores through 3 rotations. Then round 2. So they are cooking today. Taylor Clark set to go for Florida. Delina Harris Miranda a 9.875. Casey Brown's score on bars for Cal just came in. It's a 9.95. And the score for Shania Adams, she gets a 9.925 or better. That will move Alabama ahead of Cal here in the 3rd rotation.
Left for Taylor, front through, double tuck. She's got a lot of power. And she's just a freshman, and she's anchoring one of the best floor lineups in the nation.
The score they'd like to drop is a 9.85 from Gabby Dissidor. Florida doing what they need to do to stay in the lead. The battle really here is still so tight. With a 9.925 for Alabama and a season high 49.5, they will surpass Cal by 25 thousandths of a point. Going into the 4th and final rotation, we expected this would be close. This is amazing. Waiting on the score for Taylor Clark, and it comes in as a 9.9. So a 49.5 is the score for Florida. That means they have the lead by 2/10 over Alabama, but the battle really here will be California and Alabama separated by just 0.025. And welcome back to the Alabama Regional Final action here of the 2025 National Collegiate Gymnastics Championship. You can see how tight this battle is after the 3 of 4 rotations. Florida has the lead. Alabama is in the second. Cal hoping to get into nationals. They're 25 thousandths of a point behind, and Oregon State trails Cal. Take a look at some highlights from that 3rd rotation.
Florida's Leanne Wong got a 9.95 on floor to help Florida keep their lead. Their rotation score was a 49.5. And then over on beam, Alabama was outstanding. One routine after the next, they got a season high of a 49.5. And Gabby Gladio and Shania Adams did a great job to help that happen. And then Cal over on the bars. Wow, can they swing some bars? Maddie Williams, stunning, beautiful, double out, stuck landing, got her 9.95. And then Casey Brown, wow, her bar swing was incredible. One routine after the other, her unique dismount, another stuck landing for Cal. Absolutely amazing.
All right, everybody, here we are set for the 4th and final rotation. Who's going to go to Fort Worth, Trinity? It's going to be close.
Oh my goodness, they're making me sweat over here. They're doing an amazing job. This rotation is gonna, it's gonna depend on every stuck landing, every no wobble beam routine, so we'll see.
Speaking of no wobble beam routines, in this final rotation, the Cal Bears have to finish on beam, and they need to pick up some ground on Alabama, the home team, who is currently in 2nd place. Remember, just the top 2 go to the Fort Worth Championships. You can set your calendars because you can catch the NCAA Gymnastics Championships starting on Thursday, April 17th with the semifinals at 4:30 and 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. Then on Saturday, April 19th, you can catch all the championship action on ABC starting at 3:30 Eastern with the pre-show, and the finals get underway at 4. So let's set the scene here as we get ready for the 4th and final rotation. Florida will be on the vault. You see they're 2nd in the country on that event. Oregon State moves to the bars. They're currently ranked 13th in the country. California will be on the beam where they're 8th, and Alabama will be on the floor where they're 8th. And so these teams are all quite evenly matched up. The battle will, if Florida can hang on, and they're great on vault, the battle's going to come down to the home team, the Crimson Tide, holding off the California Bears for that 2nd spot into Fort Worth National Championships 2 weeks from now. Florida needs consistent vaults here to hold on to their lead of only 2/10 over the Crimson Tide. Pilgrim, first vaulter for Florida.
Very nice, Yurchenko, 1.5.
There's Adrian Burda, the assistant coach. Great job with their vaulting team. Taylor DeVries for Oregon State on bars. As Mike Chaplin, their associate head coach, cheers her on.
A nice double layout dismount here. A little bit of feet separation in the air and a little small hop on the landing. Clean routine.
Ella Cesario on beam now for Cal. This is a clutch event. Cal is a beautiful team on beam. One of their best in the country. Rachel Rybicki now for for Alabama on floor. And this is where they shine, and they're in front of a home crowd cheering them on.
Ella just did a beautiful back handspring layout step out. And Rachel opens with a big double top. Uh-oh.
Oh, no!
Oh, off the beam on her switch half. Remember, this is the lead-off routine, so they're going to have to hit every single routine from here on out to give themselves a chance.
Cal is NCAA runner-up last year. If they lose ground to Alabama here, they'll be one of those teams not advancing to the Fort Worth National Championships. And they're certainly a contender to win it all.
Maybe the pressure is on. Look, in a meet like this, everything gets so close. So you have to be on your A game, and you have to stay calm, cool, and collected.
Lee Boyd, second up for Florida.
1.5, a little under-rotated, but she holds on to it.
Anya Pilgrim led them off with a huge 9-9. So Florida currently with the lead and in control on vault with 2 hits. Natalie Briones now for Oregon State on the bars. Taylor DeVries led them off with a 9-8.
Small hop. That was a very clean routine.
Remember, no one is out of this competition. It's going to come down to the final landings. And Cal has put themselves in a bit of a predicament. Ella Cesario only an 8.95 to lead off. This is a terrific team, but they're going to need 5 really solid hit routines, starting here with Maddie Williams, second up.
And if you want anyone coming up after a fall, Maddie Williams is a pretty good choice. She's exquisite on this event.
Janiyah Adams will take to the floor for Alabama. Remember, Alabama's leadoff competitor, Rachel Rybicki, scored only a 9.5. So Alabama needs 5 hit routines here. The battle looks like it's coming down to these 2 teams.
Janiyah opens with a double pike, a little bit under-rotated, does take a step forward. Maddie Williams dismount. Nice. Gainer full to get Cal back on track.
About the momentum that Alabama has been building. 197-275. They had a 49.6 on floor 2 days ago. Season best. Florida. Lee Boyd at a 9.85 after Anya Pilgrim led them off with a 9.9.
Ankle 1.5. Oh, just tried a little too hard for that stuck landing. Had to take a step back.
Coming up at 8 Eastern, you can catch the Washington Regional Final from Seattle here on ESPN+. And for more information, Visit NCAA.com, the home for all 91 NCAA championships. Ellie Weaver will be set to go for Oregon State on bars. They have a 9.8 for DeVries and a 9.825 for Briones. They're going to need scores in the 9.9 plus range to move into those top 2 spots.
Down to the low with a shoot over handstand. Double tuck. Gets that landing.
This is just a great meet. The percentage of stalk landings is ridiculous, and that's just how well prepared these teams are. MJ Frazier now on beam after Maddie Williams delivered a terrific 9.875. After that fall from Cesario, who had only an 8.95.
The good thing about Cal being in this position is they are a great beam team, and all they have to do is be normal. So MJ did break that connection, but she just did a handspring layout, so she should have no problems. Jamison Sears on the right side, double layout. Does it like it's easy.
Keep you apprised of how close this meet is. If Alabama and Cal both drop their low scores from this rotation so far, they're dead even.
Landing for MJ on beam.
Energizer bunny for the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Run through to double top. See a little dance party follow in this routine. What do you think?
I've never seen her not dancing. 9.925 is what she got yesterday. Put the crown on. Here's Danny Ferris now for the Gators.
Yurchenko 1.5. Very big vault. Just a step forward on the landing.
You're up to date with the scores there. The Anya Pilgrim for Florida had a 9.9. They have 2 9.85s for Lee Boy and Victoria Wynn. State 9.775 is the score for Ellie Weaver.
Beautiful pass handstand right on top of the bar. Maloney up to the high bar. Shoot over to handstand, about as good as you could do a shoot over to handstand. Just the dismount. Double layout. A little short, small hop forward, great routine.
Oregon State should be very proud of their effort today. This whole weekend has been quality gymnastics for all of these teams. Jamison Sears never stops moving, and she gets a 9.9 for Alabama. The pressure really on Cal now. If they can continue to hit beam routines while Alabama is having a party on floor. See Florida's scores. Here's Peyton Walker. Jamison Sears scores, comes in, it's a 9.9. Danny Ferris' score for Florida over on vault is a 9.85. Walker, just a freshman from Hercules, California.
Round off 1.5, front half, winch split jump.
I mentioned earlier that Alabama was 5th in the SEC. They only had one regular season win over SEC opponents this year. Was Arkansas, because it's the toughest conference in the nation, but they are pouring it on here in the 4th and final rotation. Will the 6-time national champions have a chance to go back and compete for one more title 2 weeks from now in Florida? Here's Leanne Wong for Florida. 3 9.85s in a row on vault after Anya Pigham's 9.9.
Half on, front pike half on. Just a step on the landing. That was a pretty nice vault.
Thompson on bars for Oregon State. Meets coming down to the top 3 teams, Florida, Alabama, and California. Enormous pressure for California on beam now. MJ Frazier had a 9.825. Abby Scanlon on beam for Cal. She had a fall yesterday.
She's looking pretty solid.
I meant in round 2, she had a 9.275, unfortunately, so clutch for her here after the disappointment from falling the other day. Great job for Scanlon. As Lily Hudson opens up on the floor after Peyton Walker earned Alabama's 2nd straight 9.9.
Front layout, front double full. And Lily is capable of putting up some big scores on this event as well.
To use the music of Sweet Home Alabama when you're in Coleman Coliseum. Lily Hudson, the senior from Fleming, Fleming Island, Florida. The top senior student athletes in the country here, hoping to close it out for Alabama. All right, and Selena Harris-Miranda will vault now for the Gators. Leanne Wong had a 9.9.
Yurchenko 1.5.
Oh!
Oh, going for that stick again. Just a her preparing for that landing, just comes up a little bit too early.
Keep you updated on the numbers. A 9.875 or better for Selena Harris Miranda for Florida will guarantee them advancing to Fort Worth. Here's Jade Carey, the final competitor on bars for Oregon State after Sage Thompson had their high score 9.9. Lozan on beam now. Abby Scanlon before her, a 9.875. Carey finishes strong. Oregon State had an outstanding day, but I don't think it's going to be enough. It's coming down to Florida, Cal, and Alabama. That pressure now on California, especially on beam. An 8.95 is a score they'd like to drop.
Back handspring, layout step out. A triple series.
As Lozan is finishing up beam, Gabby Gladio from Alabama will be the anchor competitor for the Crimson Tide on floor after Lily Hudson got a 9.95.
Like it's easy. Round off, floaty double pull. Maya, I'm pretty sure that's a stuck landing. Her coach is in front of the camera, so.
Gladio, one of those two outstanding all-rounders along with Lily Hudson. If she can get a 9.975 or more, Alabama will advance regardless of what Cal gets in their final beam scores. So 9.975 means they get at least 2 10s from the 4 judges. What a battle here at Holman Coliseum. Gabby Gladio, she has just been money all year for the Crimson Tide. Will it be enough? Wow. Trinity, I saw this team about a month ago at the Elevate the Stage competition, and they were standing on the sidelines kind of perplexed when it was over. They were unhappy with the performances, the attitude, the scores, everything. And here we are now, a month later, Alabama, let's go, on fire in front of this home crowd. There's Ashley Priest-Johnson, who is a part of that last national championship team herself as a competitor back in 2012. Can she lead this team back to the national championships 2 weeks from now in Fort Worth? Maya Lozan's score came in for Cal on beam. It's a 9.95. Remember, the score they need to drop is the 8.95 from Ella Cesario. This is Ondine Achapong from Great Britain. Okay, Gabby Gladio's score now has been updated. If she gets a 9.925 or better, Alabama will move on regardless of what Ondine Achapong gets right now. There it is. It's a 9.925 for Gabby Gladio. So the Crimson Tide, doing the quick math on the sidelines, looks like they'll advance. So even with a perfect 10 from the British Olympian Ondine Achapong, California, last year's runner-up to LSU, will not advance. to Fort Worth to contend for an NCAA championship. Cal did a terrific job today, but Alabama was just on fire in front of their home crowd. And Florida, as all year long, has been almost undeniable. Teams are waiting on the official announcement of the scores. Florida did what they needed to do. They weren't quite as good as they were in round 2, where they scored the highest score in the country for that weekend. About a half a point behind what they did the other day, but probably it's certainly enough for Florida with a 197.7. The question mark is, who's going to take second? We think it's Alabama, but it won't be official till we get the final score. So it's official. Undine Achapong from California got a 9.925, but Alabama, in front of this adoring home crowd, will join the Florida Gators. 2 more SEC teams into the Fort Worth National Championship 2 weeks from now. Florida has won 3 national titles, the last back in 2015. Alabama has won 6 times, their last back in 2012. And by 1/10 of a point, the Cal Bears will not advance. And Oregon State will place 4th in this regional final. What a thrilling day of gymnastics. Both SEC teams celebrating together. They know what this means. It's been a long season. Trinity, you've lived this moment before. What's going through your mind right now?
Oh my gosh. You're ready to go to the national championship. That's the goal for the whole year. And so when you're finally at that moment where you get it, there's so many emotions, especially